Bonjour tout le monde. Voici une leçon que je vous ai peut-être un peu prévenu avant. This is a lesson I gave you a sort of a sneak preview of before. La France préhistorique. Ce que nous pouvons apprendre des anciennes œuvres artistiques des premiers Français. Prehistoric France, what we can learn from ancient art work by the first French people. La ville de Montignac-Lascaux est dans le Dordogne, pas loin du Périgord. Le voici. Here it is, right here. Il y a un vieux pont et un petit château du Moyen Âge sans intérêt particulier. Here is what the town looks like today. There's an old bridge and a little castle that was really for barons, not for anybody impressive like the Chateau de la Loire, which had royalty in them from the Middle Ages. Mais il y a un site historique de cette région beaucoup plus ancienne et importante que les anciennes constructions du Moyen Âge. So there is a historical site that is much older and much more important than the old constructions of the Middle Ages. Dans la région du Dordogne, depuis le 19e siècle, les Français commencent à connaître des ancêtres beaucoup plus anciens que les barons médiévaux. In the region of the Dordogne, since the 19th century, French people are beginning to know ancestors they have that are much more ancient than medieval barons. Dans les grottes du sud-ouest de la France, l'humanité a peint des œuvres impaires. And the caves, or one could translate this grottos, but generally speaking, we would translate these as cave paintings, hence cave, of southwestern France. Humanity painted unimaginable, one-of-a-kind works. Les premiers chercheurs de ces images étaient des religieux, tels que l'abbé Braille. The first people who were researching these images, they were members of clergy, such as the man pictured here, Abbé Braille, who was one of the first archaeologists, sort of self-trained archaeologists, to go down into the grottos. And one of the reasons, just to be clear, une raison pour laquelle il y avait des moines qui ont été les premiers chercheurs, c'était que les monastères avaient justement des terrains non arables qui étaient donc pleins de cavernes, pleins de grottes. Monasteries were the places where a number of these caves were found because in thinking about the use of land in the region, a monastery, particularly a contemplative order, doesn't really need a huge farm. In the Middle Ages, monks were often very profitable farmers and still to this day make wine and things like this that would be profitable to the monastery. But if you were just going to sit there and take a vow of poverty and be part of a contemplative order, you might not need fields that farmers that had to make a living would need. So monastery gifts were often of land that wasn't particularly good for farming and had caves in it. So who found the caves? Naturally enough, the people who lived on the land, which would be monks taking meditative walks, for instance. Donc l'abbé Braille, il a exploré les grottes de Lascaux et d'autres grottes du sud de la France. Avec d'autres moines catholiques, il a offert les premières interprétations des images peintes par les anciens artisans des grottes. He explored the caves of Lascaux and other caves in the south of France with other Catholic monks. He offered the first interpretations of the painted images that were composed by ancient artisans of the caves. Les Français victoriens avaient des fausses idées sur l'homme, oui, l'homme préhistorique. French Victorians had some false ideas about man. Yes, man, the prehistoric man. 1. Ils n'ont jamais imaginé que les artistes des grottes auraient pu être des femmes. They couldn't ever imagine that the artists of the caves could be women. Nous ne savons pas avec certitude que c'était des femmes, mais pourquoi ne pourrait-il être le cas? We don't know 100% for sure that these were painted by women, but there is no reason to think that this couldn't be so. 2. Ils ont reçu de leur tradition des idées de l'homme avant le christianisme qui ne correspondaient qu'à des préjugés. They had received from their traditions ideas about man before Christianity, in a world of savagery, as it was understood, a fallen world, which indeed, you don't really have to look that far for savagery in the 21st century if you want to find it, that only corresponded to their prejudices, not a kind of research. 3. Ils voyaient une humanité avant la civilisation qui était brutale, très carnivore, on peut dire même carnassier, et qui créait d'abord des images pornographiques. So they saw a humanity before civilization that was brutal, very carnivorous, and that started by creating pornographic images. Ils imaginaient que les personnes néolithiques voulaient dominer la nature et non de cohabiter avec la nature. They imagined that Neolithic people wanted to dominate nature and not live with nature in a peaceful manner. Ils imaginaient les Français des cavernes ainsi. They imagined cavemen this way. Brutaux, brutal, violeurs, rapist, chasseurs, carnassiers. Carnassier means people who are just like savagely meat eating. Hunters, chasseurs, that's what that is. Not necessarily savage at all. Peu philosophes, very little philosophy, sans foi, without any faith at all. Tandis que les Françaises des cavernes, and they imagined thus the French women of the cave man period, as they were soumises, submissive, passive, maternelle, motherly, peu inventive ou artistique, very little invention or artistic work from women in their optic, franchement stupide, frankly stupid. Ces idées de l'homme après la chute venaient de Genèse, mais aussi de l'interprétation de Genèse de Milton. These ideas of man after the fall came from Genesis, but also from the interpretation of Genesis of Milton. C'est un sujet pour une autre journée, j'imagine. It's a subject for another day, I imagine. Mais Ève, chez Milton, Ève in Milton's Paradise Lost, est bête, passive, sexy, mais stupide, soumise jusqu'à un certain point. She was passive, sexy, kind of dumb, and submissive just to a certain point. Alors, en regardant ce tableau dans les grottes de la Sceaux, ils ont vu une image de chasse, même sans chasseur et sans animaux abattus. I'm sorry, my dogs hear my neighbor pulling out of the driveway, and that's a disaster. I'm trying to live harmoniously with the animals. In looking at this painting in the caves of Lascaux, the men who first found it saw a hunting image, even though you see no hunters in this image and no dead animals, nothing killed by a hunter, just living animals walking around. Comment le comprendre autrement alors? How would one understand it another way thus? Les premiers archéologues qui ont vu ces images venaient d'une société moderne. The first archaeologists that saw these images came from a modern society. Modern meaning post-invention of agriculture and things that move on wheels. Agriculture in Europe at least brought patriarchy, meaning that land passed from the hands of men to men, and women were married and lost their last names to men. And so they saw things in a very particular way that was a construction that came perhaps not necessarily, but certainly with the advent of an agricultural system of land division. Ils croyaient que les artistes ne puissent être hommes. They thought that artists really couldn't be women. I should say. Ils croyaient que les artistes ne puissent être femmes. I'm sorry. Ne puissent être femmes. They thought that artists couldn't be women. Why? Because they had known so few artists who had been given a forum that were women. However, if you look at the ancient crafts of any civilization, a lot of the things that were considered quote unquote women's work were in fact the high art of that early civilization. And as art took a predominant place in many European societies, and indeed in other societies as well, women were pushed to the side from what was called the high art of the civilization. Ils croyaient que les hommes chassaient quotidiennement par nécessité dans une société avant l'invention de la ferme. They thought that men hunted daily by necessity in a society that came before the invention of agriculture, the advent of agriculture. Par leur propre civilisation. But they judged this by their own civilization, not the ancient people's groupings. Un repas de 19e siècle offrait plusieurs plats de viande. If you look at this this meal, which is a nice 19th century Victorian meal, surely for guests, not just your daily intake, there are some vegetable dishes, but the vast majority of this is meat-based. There is actual meat in the back, but a lot of these pastries would have included meat. I think that there you see a dead bird, what looks like a piece of ham, a big piece of ham. You have other things too. You have some fruit in the back. And this would have been how they envisioned a meal. And the idea that society without agriculture, hence without pastry, whatever is true about the cave people, they didn't make pastries. Quelle horreur! What a horrible thing not to have pastry. I'm sure the French monks thought. It does seem brutal. Nevertheless, there was a lack of imagination for what they might have eaten instead, and certainly no hard information. Pourtant, les fruits et les légumes, surtout des patates, comprenaient la majorité des repas de presque tous les peuples anciens. Nevertheless, fruits and vegetables, especially yams and various kinds of tubers, made up the majority of meals for almost all ancient peoples. There are some exceptions. The Inuit people in the north don't really have a lot of fruits and vegetables growing in the tundra, hence a minimum number of options there. But really anywhere else, you're going to see that people don't eat that much meat in the indigenous world. Nous en sommes certains par des fouilles archéologiques aussi bien que les régimes des peuples indigènes de nos jours. We know this for a fact. We know that there wasn't this giant meat-eating society in the ancient world because archaeological digs have shown us what was cooked, and it was stuff like corn and yams and things like this that were at the campfire of cave people. It wasn't that there was no meat. But if we judge by, for instance, here we have on the left the Kalahari Bush people. Understand that the Kalahari Bush people live in southern Africa today, more fully dressed more often than not because they've adapted to a variety of civilizational expectations. But the traditional hunting that went on fully until through the 1950s for a large number of Kalahari Bush people, the men would go off and hunt, and the woman would gather vegetables. However, men might bring back a good slab of meat every few weeks. So people enjoyed meat, and in fact, anthropologists have wondered whether the prizing of meat was a kind of patriarchal impulse, because people would say, clearly people who are not from Texas would say that a good steak is not necessarily better than a fabulous potato. But nevertheless, that's a debate. But what is not a debate is the frequency with which people generally in indigenous civilizations that we assume may represent more closely than our own civilization the habits of the peoples of the ancient world, that they were only eating meat a couple times a month. Which, by the way, is something I believe many doctors would think would be kind of ideal. A little bit of meat twice a month. Perfect for our bodies if we load up on salad, apparently. You know, consult your doctor. I'm not one. Donc, nous sommes vraiment au courant des vraies habitudes des vrais peuples de l'ancien monde maintenant. Les buffles des grottes, donc, pourraient représenter un monde harmonieux et riche. The buffalo painted in the grottos, therefore, could represent a harmonious and rich, abundant life, world, where if you're not hunting the buffalo so much, if you're hunting them at all, well, then maybe you're just living in a world where, you know, I think of the song, "Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play." That's not really a song about hunting down a lot of animals, although that's what happened to the buffalo. It's about playing buffalo, and here we see a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. Quand les premiers archéologues ont vu cette image, ils le considéraient la pornographie antique. Alors, qu'est-ce que nous voyons ici? Nous voyons deux fauves, peut-être à droite, nous voyons peut-être un buffle. À gauche, est-ce un rhinocéros? Ce n'est pas impossible, nous ne savons pas. Mais nous voyons un homme par terre qui bonde. We see a man with an erection who is lying on the ground. Ils ont dit que c'était de la pornographie. They said it was pornography. Mais quand on meurt, when we die, les hommes peuvent avoir des érections. Men can have erections as they are dying. I wouldn't know this neither from being a man nor from watching dead people, but I am told this on good authority by people who know something about both being male and being people who know about death. Et nous voyons les fauves qui le guettent. The animals seem to be looking at this man who is dying. Et nous voyons il y a un bâton avec une forme d'oiseau au-dessus. So you see this bird, and it is a little surprising. It looks like it's like a bird on a stick. There are some peoples in Africa that carve bird images and put them on posts in agricultural lands. We have no reason to think that this is the same tradition, but it is interesting to note that in traditional cultures, this is not perhaps an unexpected thing. What remains left to find out is, what does it represent here? We cannot say with great certainty. What we can see is the several images that we have here. Les moines ont vu de la pornographie ici. D'autres scolaires disent non. The monks saw pornography here. Other scholars say no. Est-ce un tableau de chasse et de sexe ou une représentation de la mort? Is it a painting of hunting and sex or a representation of death? Here, ici, nous voyons Saint Sébastien qui est percé par des flèches. Here we see Saint Sebastian who was martyred, pierced by arrows. Est-ce que c'est la chasse? Is this an image of hunting? Normally you don't tie your prey to a post. Est-ce que c'est une image de sexe, de la pornographie? Qui sait? Who knows? L'Église médiévale dit non, ce n'est pas de la pornographie. Moi, je regarde et je dis, je ne sais pas. The medieval church would have certainly told me that the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian was in no way pornographic. I look at this image from a different world and I don't know the answer to the question if there's any level in which this is pornographic. He's naked and pierced with arrows. He is dying, but he looks chill, doesn't he? Il a l'air très calme. He seems very calm. Ceux qui ont découvert l'image de l'homme couché avec une érection n'avaient pas considéré apparemment les images des martyrs médiévaux de la même région. Those who discovered the image of the man lying with an erection had not considered apparently the images of martyrs from the Middle Ages of the same region. Ils n'ont pas considéré non plus les images des tombeaux en mémorial. They had not thought about the images either of tombs that offer a memorial. Ici, nous voyons un roi qui est dépeint en pierre sur son tombeau. Here we see a king who is depicted in sculpture and stone on his own tomb. En croyant la sauvagerie des anciens peuples, ils n'ont pas considéré des possibilités d'un système de valeurs pré-chrétien qui pourrait vivre en harmonie avec les animaux. In believing as sort of a first stand that the ancient peoples were savages. They never considered, it would seem, the possibilities of a value system from pre-Christianity that could live in harmony with animals. Ils n'ont pas considéré la possibilité d'une image in memoriam, c'est une expression latine, sans pudeur vis-à-vis des érections mortelles des hommes. They never thought of the possibility of an in memoriam image. Is this like a tomb image? Although, of course, there is no body. Here in the medieval sarcophagus, there is a body underneath that image. Nevertheless, for whatever reason, we don't have the bones of the man depicted, or indeed any bones in that cave of any human. They never thought about the possibility of an in memoriam image from a society that wasn't prudish about death erections of men. We invented a rule about feeling weird about genitals. Maybe we were right to, maybe we were not. Nevertheless, we have no reason to assume that the most ancient peoples of Europe felt the same way. Ils n'ont pas considéré non plus la possibilité des animaux non agressifs, mais symboles des guides de l'après-vie. They didn't consider either the possibility of non-aggressive animals that were symbols of afterlife guides of some kind. L'anthropologue Rian Eisler met en cause leurs premières conclusions. The anthropologist Rian Eisler, this is her photo, wants to smack down their first conclusions with another interpretation. Dans son livre, je donne le titre original, The Chalice and the Blade, elle donne une analyse iconographique qui comporte mieux aux pratiques des peuples indigènes mondialement et qui rejette des préjugés victoriens. She gives an iconographic analysis, which means an analysis of image, qui comporte mieux aux pratiques des peuples indigènes, that seems to resemble the traditions and habits of living indigenous peoples worldwide, et qui rejette les préjugés victoriens and rejects Victorian prejudices. Eisler nous propose une possibilité intrigante. Eisler proposes to us an intriguing possibility. Si nous pouvons mieux connaître les premiers habitants de la France et ailleurs, en oubliant nos préjugés, peut-être que nous puissions imaginer un avenir pour notre civilisation moins agressif et plus harmonieux avec la nature et les autres personnes. If we can get to know the first people who lived in France and elsewhere, and we forget our prejudices while doing so, maybe we can imagine a future for our civilization that is less aggressive and more harmonious with nature and other people. Alors, un devoir de l'ancien monde. So here is a bit of homework from the ancient world. Si tu faisais partie d'une société préhistorique, quel rôle aimerais-tu jouer? If you were part of a prehistoric society, what role would you like to play? In the society, of course. Écris-moi un paragraphe pour expliquer vos idées. Write me a paragraph to explain your ideas.